The real world right now is potentially going to pierce the NBA bubble to the point where the Raptors are considering not playing game one of the Eastern Conference semifinal against the Boston Celtics tomorrow. And the Celtics are thinking the same thing as well. Is that what they're talking about right now?
Yeah, so Mark Spears just tweeted out that both teams met in their hotel room in the hotel yesterday and have been talking throughout the day about what to do, and that's definitely on the table, boycotting game one.
Now, again, the shooting of Jacob Blake by authorities in Kenosha, Wisconsin, I think 3 days ago now, and the video that shocked the entire world. I mean, we're running out of words to say when videos appear on our phones, and it just shocks us. And the accountability that many people in this world want to have on a police force that we only want to be straight up in terms of equal protection under the law, regardless of skin color, and want to have equal protection under the law for everyone. And discussing this again makes it very difficult because it comes across to some that we are castigating an entire protection force across the United States. I do not. I just want this to stop. I want to see white teenagers with AR-15s stopped on the street by police in the same way that I want to see African-American men not shot in the back. And I can't believe that me saying this could sound political or it's viewed by any as outrageous. Yeah, but what about? Yeah, but what about? Unarmed African-American men, unarmed white men shouldn't be shot in the back. And 17-year-olds patrolling the streets of Wisconsin at night with an AR-15. What the hell is happening in this world? And so, again, you might be sitting there and saying, well, what are the Raptors and Celtics going to do about that? How does it change that if they don't play a playoff game? That makes, I understand somebody saying something like that. But what else do the Raptors and the Celtics have in their own figurative, I know that's probably a wrong word to use, arsenal, but what do they have at their disposal to make their thoughts known? This is the ultimate that they have is, hey, if you're not paying attention, and some might not be, maybe this does focus your thoughts on a subject that needs to be addressed in this country now. And looters and rioters should be subdued. Personal property should be protected, but not by 17-year-olds with an AR-15 in the streets of the United States. And again, this is a very dangerous tool. It's a powerful tool, but it's a dangerous tool because my Twitter feed says that this young man with the AR-15 was signaling police officers and coordinating with them. I have no idea if that's true. I have no earthly idea if that's true, but the video is frightening. That video is more frightening, is more frightening to other people in this country than seeing disobedience on the streets of property. Again, and I don't want to hear the stick to sports stuff. Okay? I don't want to hear it. We're here to talk sports. And we're here to have fun with entertainment, and we will over 3 hours. But this is the real world. The Raptors and the Celtics are thinking of not playing. Can you do me a favor, Don Bowie, and tee up Doc Rivers? I love Doc Rivers with every fiber of my being. He's one of my favorite people I've had the fortune in my profession to have come across and gotten to know. Whether it's interviewing him here on this set or teeing it up on a golf course with him in Menary. Okay, I mean, I love him. He's one of Al Michaels' favorite people. And if you've met Al here, as you have,
of course,
Al will tell you if he doesn't like somebody.
He sure will.
Okay, he is amazing.
Factual.
And the way that Doc was a rock for this city and this franchise when the Donald Sterling disaster, when the absolute unmitigated disaster of Donald Sterling appeared as the scourge that he and it was on this city, on this franchise, he was indispensable as a voice of reason and calm and understanding. Indispensable. Here was Doc Rivers after his team came up with a huge win last night.
It's amazing why we keep loving this country, and this country does not love us back. And it's really so sad. Like, I should just be a coach. And it's so often reminded of my color. You know, it's just really sad. We got to do better. That video, if you watch that video, you don't need to be black to be outraged. You need to be American and outraged. And how dare the Republicans talk about fear? We're the ones that need to be scared. We're the ones having to talk to every black child. What white father has to give his son a talk about being careful if you get pulled over? It's just ridiculous. And it just keeps going. There's no charges. Breonna Taylor, no charges, nothing. All we're asking is you live up to the Constitution. That's all we're asking for everybody.
Spot on. So, and by the way, just for time purposes, and, you know, we appreciate, again, you saw the courtesy up there that ESPN helped provide that video from the post-game press conference last night. Edited out of that was Doc saying his dad was a police officer. Does anybody out there say, well, what does Doc know about policing? His dad was a police officer. That's what he said. And I've known so many police officers, and many of them are caring and do uphold the Constitution and do follow the law. And we don't know the full circumstances. I hear you. But in the same way that we see an unarmed man shot in the back 7 times, can we all agree that that shouldn't happen? And can we all agree that, again, no matter what is happening in the streets, and I know people who are maybe seeing their businesses looted, it's awful, it's terrible, that we shouldn't depend on some 17-year-old that we're seeing on Twitter apparently driving in from the state of Illinois up to Wisconsin with his AR-15, strolling the streets and firing off rounds, allegedly, reportedly, that's not the guy we should have on the streets, holding an AR-15, B, taking it upon himself to police? What? That's not the world we want. No, that's not the world we want as Americans. I will say it. And it's not political. It's not. And having a conversation like this, or you might think I'm sermonizing. I'm happy to take phone calls on this subject. Let's talk about it, because when it's all said and done, the planet's still spinning, and there's no other planet for us to spin on. We're all here. We're all here. You have your grievance. You have your grievance. Guess what? Planet's still going to spin. And the planet will hopefully keep spinning when we're not here anymore, and we need to leave a better place for our kids.